All right, all right, all right. I believe we are live, guys. Give me a second just to make sure. Just want to see it pop up here on the screen. Yes, it did. So welcome, guys, to the latest episode of the Sim Standard Podcast. As you can see there, trying something new, guys. So you're going to have to bear with Smitty and myself tonight. It may or may not work the way we want it to. If it doesn't, we'll jump right over to Google Hangouts. So let me just give you guys a few moments to get up in here and I can explain to you guys exactly what we're doing. Let me make sure you guys are here in the chat, so give me just a moment. And then we'll get it cracking. Let me see. All right, I see us in there. Looks like everything is rolling properly. So all right, guys, we're going to give it a whirl. So as you can see, Smitty and I, we're coming across in a different look, so to speak. You may get a little bit of delay, you may not. This is kind of a test run. What we're doing, guys, is I'm trying out using OBS. Told you guys before, we tried to get some help, letting you guys know exactly how we would be trying to stream. So let me give you guys the skinny again real quick before we dive into it. What I'm basically doing, guys, is I'm using OBS. I'm on a MacBook Pro. I found what I believe is a workaround. I have the video capture card. My camera is the video device capturing me. I have Skype and a window capture where you see Smitty there. And we have a little generic, little template there, nothing final. Even if one of you guys want to help us out and build us a nice little template, we'll appreciate that. But anyway, we want to try this out, guys, so we can start adding more things to the stream, maybe some sound effects, maybe some scrolling text, get a little more professional with it. Maybe we can throw text up there letting you know what topic we're covering, things like that. So we're going to give it a whirl and see how it works, all right? So you guys will definitely have to let us know what's popping tonight. And if it's good, yay. If it drops or if it starts dragging, we can switch right over to Google Hangout. I already have it set to go, so we'll take it from there. So before we move on, man, let me just holler at Smitty real quick. What's going on, Smitty, man? How was your week? How's everything going? Any news that you want to give us in regards to the Lions? Have they done anything? Have they pissed you off? What's going on?
Nothing too much going on. Just, only thing I was disappointed with was the Lions with the tight end move, but at the same, we got Luke Wilson. So that's a nice pickup right there. We also got LeGarrette Blount. So, what I'm saying? Yeah, I saw that. So it's like, okay.
I saw that.
All right, so those some nice little pickups there. So we made some nice pickup. We didn't get the star name. We didn't get the big name star guy or what have you. But at the same time, we got some legit pieces. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely cool with that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up. But the thing I want to open up with, not necessarily that, but this is just from a little discussion that I was having a bit earlier on today. Shout out to my man Bills, that's my dude, and there was another guy that got in it as well, Sean Coonery, I think his name is, on Twitter. This is on Twitter. This is from a tweet that Scott O'Gallagher he posted in response to someone else earlier, basically saying in this NBA, it's regards to basketball. So in regards to this NBA climate, he was saying that Jordan would average he would average 40 points a game in this NBA climate because of how it's a lot looser. Plus, in the 80s, when he first came in, he had seasons where he averaged 35, 36. He averaged 37 points per game. In the 80s, where it was a lot more physical and a lot more tougher. So we were going back and forth, and guys were basically saying that Jordan wouldn't be able to do that. He would be averaging, he kept saying he's not 10 points per game better than a Kobe Bryant or a LeBron or, any of these star players out here. But this is the thing that's being missed. See, it's a big difference. And I mean, some of these guys are a little bit younger. Okay, and yes, it's not all about age, but it's about actually living through the experience of. Because all the points, a lot of the points they were making, they kept making today NBA points. Well, the way the game is played, they'd have to have these kind of players around Jordan in order for him to do that. Just like what James Harden's got. It doesn't matter. Listen, Jordan Jordan was playing Jordan was playing in a triangle offense. No one is playing in triangle in this NBA climate right now. And it's not because it can't be ran. It can be ran if it's coached right. But this is what you guys got to understand. Or I should say younger people or people that don't necessarily have the knowledge because they may have not been paying attention to the game at that point. Jordan, Miller, guys like that, Kareem, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaq, those guys would absolutely feast in this NBA.
Oh God!
Right
Shaq.
now, as open as it. That's what I'm saying. Those guys would feast in this NBA, and this is why I'm saying that they brought up. They're making the points of guys are more athletic, guys are stronger, guys are all that. Listen, Kevin Durant is not stronger than Michael Jordan, like prime Michael Jordan. You could tell. Look at the physiques. Kevin Durant got that basically similar string bean-esque kind of physique. And look how he's dropping bombs. He's dropping ridiculous points on people. So we could dismiss that easy. But what you also got to understand is this. It's the transcending. Okay? It's the transcending of the game that he brought to the table. How many people in the NBA do fadeaway jump shots and they try to resemble the mold of what Jordan did outside of Kobe? We know Kobe basically he copied Jordan one for one, pretty much. But you see other players that do fadeaway shots that they try to do them in the mold of what MJ did. MJ's fadeaway is kind of like how it is with Dirk and his fadeaway. His fadeaway is special to him, right? Just like how you look at Jordan's fadeaway. His fadeaway was like Iceman's layup. His finger roll. It would just get over the tip of the defender's hand. Like, it would be crazy how he would hit it at times. That shot and how he does it transcends. Because all these other people try to do it. The dream shake. LeBron's doing it. A few other players, you'll see it every here and there. And also, like I said before, the hook shot from Kareem. If people do that hook shot, you see it every once in a blue moon. But if you had centers, guards, whatever, you see centers, guards for all positions. At times, you'll see somebody do that hook shot in a similar or old school fashion, like Kareem did it. And also, remember, look at this too. Russell Westbrook and his ridiculous MVP season, and think about how he was scoring. This dude was doing a lot of screen and role play. Think of how Reggie Miller was playing in the 90s. He would pull his teammates in position, run off them screens. As soon as that ball touched his hands, he's going up with it. In a wide open NBA, like how it is now, those dudes would be killing it in this league. You probably will have, with the guys I named, you may have multiple dudes that will be averaging close to, if not 40. Not every single season, but they would have ridiculous seasons putting up stats. Because remember, all these moves, look, it's like this. You got Danielson and you got Mr. Miyagi, okay? Jordan is Mr. Miyagi. All these other dudes out here are Danielson. This dude's Mr. Miyagi. You let Mr. Miyagi get in that game, it's a wrap. He's going to bust for 40 for seasons. Because, look, Jordan, and remember this, even though, okay, look, you got Vince Carter that still is in the NBA right now, still getting it in. because the way this NBA climate is, guys like him are able to sustain. They can still be in this league. You know what I'm saying? Tim Duncan able to play as long as he has. Look at what's my man's name? Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker. These guys are all able to sustain still in this league because of the way the game has kept on opening and opening up. All of that stuff is valid. I'm not saying dudes are playing tackle basketball out there, but I'm saying that it was more physical, more touch, more things that you could do when you played. There was more you could do. You could be a lot more interactive on the court. So so that's why I'm saying. And also remember this: Jordan came back. That second comeback he had, brother was averaging 22 points. He averaged 22 points the one season and then 20 on his final season. And he was playing against the likes of Allen Iverson, Vince Carter, like early prime Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant. So he was going up against those elite players, and this dude was averaging able to bust for 20 or more against them. At that point, older Jordan, who had to lay off, put on some weight, had to get fluid drained out of his knee and things like that. Come on, and he was still able to get it in. So I can't sit up here and say against those, especially even though it was against those players, and I know this is not the era of the Westbrook and everything else, but at the end of the day, Jordan's game, if you took Jordan at a prime state, or earlier prime state in this NBA, he's feasting. Especially once he learned that jumper, and plus he's got the mentality. You saw last night. I'll end it with this point. You saw last night. If you saw the game last night, you saw Dwight Howard had a 30-30 game. He had like 30 points, 32 rebounds, or something like that.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
That man ain't old, but people think that's a turn back the clock kind of performance. Some people. It's not that. The man said, look, when he was in LA, Kareem, they were trying to help the man out. He didn't want to be great. He said himself, I'm not concerned. He didn't want to be dominant like that. That's why you see him just basically cruising through now in the league. So that's my point. If he had a mindset like a Shaq or a Jordan or something like that, that brother would be feasting right now in the NBA. He'd probably be the top center in the league. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Davis doing what he's doing, it'd probably be him and AD. They'd be the number 1 and 2 centers in the league. So that's my whole point. Is that this is a much lighter atmosphere when it comes to the NBA and how defense is played, how offense is played, what's called foul and what isn't, things like that, so it's a whole different paradigm shift. So that's why I said you put those guys in this game, they're dominating. So he said put Giannis in the NBA in 1983, dude would average 50 points per game. See, if he's gonna average if you put him in the game in 1983, if he's averaging, he wouldn't average 50 because you had guys with size. Now if you said put him in the game in 1965 or something like that, then yeah, I'd agree with you there because he'd be one of the few players out there that would be that tall. So, because remember, Bill Russell was like 6'9", 6'10", and he was basically like your dominant force out there. One of the few dominant forces because he had that size. He had that size and the length, and not many people had that. So, but that's the point that I wanted to make. Like I said, all these things that we see in today's game are uber pieces from what was done beforehand. So I'm just saying, in a more opened up game, you bring those kind of players into this NBA climate in their primes. No, it's not even funny how much dominance will be displayed by these other players. Like it would be sickening to see these guys going buck wild on the court out there. And like I said, we could bring the whole physique thing up all we want. Basketball, like games like basketball, baseball, soccer, tennis. These are all sports where you can be, you know, in your like just approaching your teens and play pro and be signed on to a pro contract. NBA, NBA, of course, you got to be 18, but I'm saying like you can be of a very young age and come in and bang amongst the biggest and the baddest. So it's not all about just, oh man, everybody's, physically and they're this and they're that. It's not always about that. Allen Iverson is a player that can hang in any era, and that brother got banged up a ton. He wasn't this physical dominant beast. You heard him the whole practice speech. You know what I'm saying? Like he was talking about if I got big and buff like Schwarzenegger, you telling me I get the MVP right now? Like he brought that all up. So it's not all about that. Dude had the game. You know what I'm saying? He had the game. And I mean, of course, he had other intangibles, speed, quickness, and things like that. But game, it's all about the game you bring and the tenacity you bring along with it. The other factors that you can't necessarily put together in one package. So
yeah, man, that's a very, very interesting conversation.
Yeah,
very interesting, man. I mean, because it's weird, man. It's like a lot of you guys know I'm into boxing. I mean, I had these conversations with people all the time about, Floyd wouldn't have beat this guy and this guy. And I'm like, that's a whole different thing. But styles make fights and stuff, man. I mean, it's hard to say, even in basketball, what a guy would have done. But I think, like what Smitty said, some of it is obvious. I mean, you look at some of these guys and you say, oh, yeah, he would have dominated. He would have played. He would have been good back then, or that guy would have been good now. And I think it goes without saying. So I don't have nothing to add to that, man. That was great tidbit of information there. Guys, I won't bore you at all with the football talk. I mean, it's very slow. If you follow the Steelers, of course, like I do, they grabbed Morgan Burnett. I think that was a good sign, and a little older than what the Steelers usually prefer as far as free agency. But, I think smidgen better than Mike Mitchell. And I say smidgen only because he could he could do the things that Mike Mitchell could do, but I think he's a better ball hawk type of guy, or his ball skills are better, more rangy, more versatile. So it's definitely an upgrade over Mike Mitchell. I think if they still look to go safety in the draft, I think that's a possibility. They picked up John Bostic at inside linebacker. Now that's still a pick right there. That's what they look for. A guy maybe entering in his fifth year into the league, 26 years old. He has had a couple injury situations, but hopefully he can stay fairly fairly healthy, and both of those guys will definitely help out the defense. We'll see what's going to happen in the draft. I see one guy here saying Steelers get a running back. I don't understand that mock. I've seen a couple people mock a running back in the first round. I don't think the Steelers are going to do that. No way. I mean, think about it. They didn't even take Le'Veon Bell in the first round. Bell was a second round guy. So people mocking the Steelers with a running back in the first, I don't see it. I mean, because there's no immediate need. Even if Bell plays on the tag, you still got him. So I don't think you spend a first round on that when running backs seem to be coming out of the draft left and right each year, it seems like now. So there you go. So let's go ahead and get off that, man. Let's go ahead and get into the topics, man. Of course, just to give you guys an update again, this is my night that I have to go to bed fairly early because I commute in on Fridays. So, we won't be able to go past the 10 p.m. mark. So hopefully we can get everything in. So let me let you guys know what we're going to talk about, man. So first and foremost, I know you guys are probably wondering what that title is all about. You probably laughed when you saw that, but I will explain that. Has Madden become the girlfriend that gets cheated on? And we'll dive into that. But then we also, shout outs to DJ81. DJ sent us a little piece of information here on Twitter. Experimental self-learning AI in Battlefield 1. And if you guys haven't seen that, if you give me a chance, a little bit later, I'll link you to the video, but very interesting. We'll tell you what that's all about if you haven't seen it, and we'll, chop it up and, kind of figure out how that might work with sports games and, you know, what we all would like to see as far as adaptive AI. And if you keep seeing me look to the left, guys, you know, we're doing our draft and our league, so that's what I'm keeping my eye on, just to give y'all a heads up there. And then the last thing, shout outs to @89 Shy Bears fan, gave us this topic. He says, due to the recent gaming controversies over the last 6 months, do you feel that the relationship between gaming consumers and video game companies has reached a crescendo? That's a very good question. So we'll dive into that as well. So that's what we're pretty much going to cover. Let me see. Where you want to start off? You know what, Smitty? Let's start off with the experimental self AI, because I think we could kind of, you know, hit that one, spend a little bit of time on it, and then perhaps move on to Madden becoming the girlfriend that's been cheated on. So I'll throw it to you first. First of all, what did you think about the video? I'm sure you saw it. And how do you think that would play out in a sports title?
I mean, yo, I love the video. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's some definitely untapped potential with that AI engine. I looked at the article as well, because they talked about the certain limitations it has, but the cool thing I like about it is that they took from the data. It was basically they took from the multiple, you know, I think they said like 300 matches worth of data that they pulled from, and then they went ahead from there and ran the simulation with just, not simulation, but, you know, like ran it with just all bots on the field, and seeing, you know, certain learned behaviors in the game, seeing it on the field. So like you seen the tendencies, you know, for those that saw the video, you had it where you know, the AI would find they would find some they had health boxes and supply crates. So it's like when they were running low on ammo, they had the behavioral mannerism to kick in and say, oh snap, I need to go back and get some ammo. All right, you know, I need to get some health, and then they would get the health box. But the thing is, they learn the behavior in the sense of the human user. So it's like they function, excuse me, they only function off of the, you know, they function off of the mini map, and they function off the same view just as if they were an end user. So it was like, I forgot what it was that made the game go a bit bonkers a little bit.
Oh,
like
yeah,
they
I
would
don't remember what
start,
that was either.
let me see,
But it was tripping for a minute. Bugged out. I don't know what did it though.
actually start to spin around to look for something to do.
Mm-hmm.
So saying like, you know, it's more of a beginning phase, but then they're talking about like getting into what would be a better strategy would be to go search for opponents across the map or find somewhere to hide, but the agents aren't as smart yet, or they're not up to that point yet. So it's an adaptive system. So it's like, let me see here, what is it? Okay, to help the self. Okay, so it's like basically, in terms of training the system, requires players to perform an array of simultaneous actions. So to help the self-learning agent to get a head start with the basic action combinations, they let it observe 30 minutes of human play before letting it train on its own. So from that standpoint, think of it like if they're playing Madden, or if there's certain concepts that they're doing while they're building the game up. The game train off of that kind of stuff. User, and then what the game does, or what users do on the field. And then, like I said, you know, in a beginning phase implementation, it's going to be more basic, but then improvise. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I want to see the game start to improvise more and more, and then now you have much smarter bots, so to speak, or smarter CPU opponent. So when you look at your when we're talking about Madden in this aspect, and we're looking at you know uh, how the secondary plays, how your D and offensive line interact with each other, what they see, and things like that. This would be huge, like for Madden, and that's like shoot, that's beyond adapt. Like I mean, that's adaptive AI, but that's like improvised AI in the sense of it's not adapting to how you play, but it's like adjusting. Well, I'm thinking of the Battlefield example, but like in the realm of Madden, I would just like to see the game adjust. Adjust like okay, I see what they're doing based off of what it is I'm trying to do offensively to gain yardage. Like, am I running the ball a certain percentage? Am I doing this? Am I doing that? So if I'm running the ball to the left a lot more than I am to the right, then when it's a formation and it looks like a run play, you may see them call a play that may, you know, they may take a play and necessarily flip it and play on that side or favor that side that may cover, may do a decent job at covering everything else, but it's going to favor that side that they see me potentially run the ball to more often. And then they may try to stop it that way, So it's like it would be cool to see the game make those kind of improvisations. And then secondary play, zone defense. Now you're talking about play when you don't necessarily see, like when it comes to coverage, they see what's going on. They see how the routes are being ran. What am I going to do? What am I going to do based off of what the scenario looks like once the play develops? What are they going to do? Instead of just saying, oh, I'm going to stick to this zone, committed, I'm going to stay with it no matter what until the very end. It's like, what am I going to do based off of what my other teammates are already doing from the initial base play call? So we're in the 4-3. We're playing Tampa 2. Okay, I know what my guys are doing or what my guys are supposed to do. But then based off of what the offense is doing, what's this guy doing? What's that guy doing? This is what I'm responsible for. And then adjust based off of what's happening in front of them. That kind of stuff is what I want to see happen. Instead of it being so mechanized, now you're seeing more improv. And when you see more of that improv happen, that's when you'll see mistakes. You'll see more, you'll see mistakes happen. You'll see good plays. You'll see good guesses. You'll see bad guesses. But you'll see gambles and risks just like you see happen on Sunday. And another point to add real quick to that, when we think of that whole AI thing, remember, this is shout out to NY Kia. NY Kia, the videos, we were having a discussion, and there were some videos on pets. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, unless you actually pay attention, I mean, you really got to pay attention to soccer and know the sport, like know the guys and how they act and all that stuff. This guy did a breakdown video series like back when the game came out, and he talked about all the different nuances that players do, that CPU does, how the AI adjusts to you and things like that. And even the AI that makes mistakes as well. I'm like, that's the kind of stuff, and I mean, you'd have to watch the videos. Like we'll link them or something like that. But if you see those videos and you see how he just goes through how it's all broken down and how the gameplay functions, it's on point, man. It's crazy. But that's somewhat in the ballpark of what we're talking about here in regards of what's happening in that game, but what we would like to see happen with Madden, like we like to see happen with PES and such. I mean, not PES, excuse me. Madden, Live, those kind of games. You know what I'm saying? So what's you, man?
That PES stuff was unbelievable. I mean, guys, if you haven't had a chance to see it, I'll have to try to remember to link you guys to it. If Kia, I think Kia is watching. I don't know, Kia, if you have quick access to it, and you can dump the links in here. But it was to the point, guys, where Kia has said now that he's enjoying PES so much more because now he understands the game, and he understands literally what he's seeing play out, and it makes sense to him now, to where, you know, the game, it has, not only does it have different play styles, but it literally replicates the way a certain guy dribbles and runs and moves and tendencies, etc., etc., and it's crazy. But just getting on to the AI part of things, I immediately thought about a couple things when DJ sent that to us and I looked at the video. Number one, adaptive AI, which is something that we've all been asking for. Smitty did a great job covering that, so I don't even really have to go down that road. The second thing, it made me say, okay, the whole Frostbite thing where, you know, they've come out and said that, you know, the EA corporate, they've said they want to have all of their games running on the same platform and the same engine. So I was like, So seeing that they're testing that out on Battlefield, this is just my wacky mind. Don't mind me. You know, it might not even have nothing to do with this. But I was like, so why are they trying that on Battlefield first? Is it because does Frostbite allow them to do that? And Battlefield was the first game that debuted on Frostbite, obviously with Frostbite being a thing that DICE created. I don't know. And if so, how easy would that be to program it in to the rest of your games? You see what I'm saying? If that's a component that, like me and Smitty were told a couple years ago, if we understand the way Frostbite works, you know, again, the analogy that we were given, it was sort of like a Photoshop. You dump everything in there and then you pull and manipulate the way you want. If that's the case, it sounds like this will be a piece that they can add into Frostbite, and all of the games that have Frostbite will more likely be able to use it. Just my guess. So those are the kind of things I thought about. Now, how do I feel about it? You know, I'm in favor of it. And just like what Smitty said, I mean, think about your defensive players now. Again, you guys who played Backbreaker, we did. We know how Backbreaker, you know, at a level that game started learning you the more and more you played it. You know, if you beat a DB a couple times, you'll start noticing that defender start cheating a little bit. You know, so I would love that type of element. But what really, you know, caught my attention was the fact that, you know, from the way it was saying it in the video, is not just a quote unquote adaptive AI where, you know, the fear that a lot of people have in that is the way Madden has been doing it when they've tried to shut down a certain run play or whatever. Oh, if you run it X amount of times, you're not going to be as successful. That's not organic. You know, the way this video was, you know, portraying it is it would be organic. It was saying that the game is learning as it goes along. That's a whole different level, you know, of situation there. Oh, there goes Twan. Shout outs to Twan, man. Always coming through.
Man. This guy, man. Antoine.
Always coming through. This guy is unbelievable, man. Unbelievable with the donations. So shout outs to him. I don't know if you guys heard that clip. I'm trying to work OBS the right way. I tried to do a round of applause there, but I don't know if it's worked properly. So we're gonna have to figure all that out. So if you guys heard it, let me know you did. If you didn't, we're still learning this new procedure, and hopefully this will work for us going forward. But back to the point, man. Hey, I envision it the same way like Smitty said. DBs recognizing stuff and making the wrong call, jumping the wrong route. Now, of course, we're going to have to be super sim heads to accept this stuff, folks. But I'm cool with it. If I could go back and look and say, I see why he did that. He was thinking slant. He jumped to slant. Whatever. I would be cool with it. Defensive linemen, you guys always hear me talk about why don't they follow the ball? Why are they just locked into their animation and then they break out of it? But if you watch football on any level, the defenders are always tracking the ball carrier. Even while they're being blocked, they're doing this type of thing, and they know where to block shit. I'm thinking that type of stuff will come into play. So I'm all in favor for it, man. Obviously, there's some bugs to it, but just knowing that a game could learn as it's going on. So, you know, we're only controlling one person at a time. So that would even be beneficial for us when we're doing user to user because, again, The other 10 players on your team is CPU controlled. So that would be great. And how about this? Take it a step further, Smitty. How about if they get that into a game like Madden? Not only is it learning, but now it's playing off of tendencies. So the AI has the ability to learn, but at the same time, the learning also could be mapped to what that player does well, assuming that by that point we would have different play styles and tendencies and archetypes, those type of things that's coming in all these other games, hint, hint. Then, you know, these guys learning and that AI now morphs into their ability. So let's say you have a smart defender or whatever, he reads it, a Palomalu type of guy. Of course, I'm going to be biased Steelers because I know these guys more than anybody else. Now maybe you get that moment where he leaps over the pile, you know, because he's reading something. He's reading the type of play. I mean, it could get crazy with that kind of stuff. So all in all, you know, we could definitely move on. I don't want to spend too much time there. But, bruh, how crazy would that be if, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. How crazy would that be? Oh, great. And y'all said y'all did hear the clap there, so I have to turn the volume up a little bit. So we'll try it again and make sure it works. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got on that, Smitty. You know, while we're here on the Madden tip, I guess we can dive into the next topic. I'll kick it off because I know, again, some of you guys probably are thinking, what is Sim talking about? And Smitty, what they talking about that Madden is the girlfriend that got cheated on? So let me explain. MLB The Show 18 will be dropping here in a moment. For some people have told me it's 9 p.m. Eastern if you did the GameStop reserve. Mine is digitally, you know, I did it digitally, and that's a sign right there that the girlfriend is getting cheated on. I'm going to explain. It's in the queue. It'll be available at 12 midnight, but unfortunately, this would be the time that now I go to work on Fridays. I can't stay up and play it because I got to get up, guys, at 5 a.m., leave out of my house at 5:30. I can't spend no time tonight doing that. But I'll be able to get on it tomorrow night at some point.
You got to do a release day marathon, Sim. You got to do it.
Ah, man, I wish.
Midnight.
I wish that
Midnight
that snow came a couple days too early. If it would have happened tonight, hey, I'd be closed tomorrow. And I could sit up and stream all night. But it's like this. I've actually got a video coming at midnight. Spoiler alert. I'm basically just explaining why I'm going to be putting so much time into MLB The Show 18 and just explaining to some people that might not watch this show that's expecting, you know, guys come to my streams and they're expecting to see the gameplay. So I just did a quick video. It'll release at 12, letting them know why I can't, you know, show it right now. Well, this is why we'll be playing the game, blah, blah, blah. More to come. One of those videos. But here's the thing. MLB The Show. Okay. I'm not a baseball guy, right? Y'all have heard us say this millions of times. So I said, you know what? I'm going to break down and I'm going to buy this game. And I bought MLB The Show 17. And I was playing it for a while, having a great time. You know, Road to the Show wasn't really, you know, let's be honest. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. It wasn't really benefiting me YouTube-wise. You know, nobody was watching it. So I was like, you know, I'm not going to waste my time. For any of you guys that do YouTube on a consistent basis, it's work. You know, it's editing and, you know, sometimes you're not going to do stuff if it's not worth your, you know, the value to do it, so to speak. So I put it down. I did stream it a little bit. But then other games started coming out, you know, 2K and them came out, and Madden came out. Y'all obviously know how that kind of shifted my direction, and EA plays and all of that. So I just didn't stay locked in with MLB The Show. Still played it from time to time, just didn't play it as often. So for the last month or so, I picked it back up. I've been streaming it, and I realized why I love the game. And shout outs to Randolph just mentioning here. Yeah, I'm going to actually wait as well to start my franchise until the OSFM rosters come out. Once they come out, then I will get started with franchise. So, just to continue with the story, when I play this game, guys, I realized that it has pretty much everything that I look for in a simulation sports title. Everything. I mean,
careful.
Everything that I can ask for. is pretty much it's there. It's there. I mean, everything from user control, the authenticity, the realism as a whole, the presentation, ball physics. I mean, just the minor details, you know, the challenge system, all of these things, right? So I'm like, okay, if I'm not getting what I really want at home, you know, with the girlfriend, I might have to venture out. Now, let me bring it back to a girlfriend boyfriend type of situations, because you guys seem to like when I use these analogies. Now, you know, I'm no longer in that category, guys. I'm happily married. You know, I have what I want. Happily married. I have no desire to do anything else, blah, blah, blah. But there was a time when I was a single man. And there was a time when I had a girlfriend or two. And I dated. And usually the reason why I no longer had this girlfriend or whatever is because I just wasn't getting what I needed. So it might have had me go out and venture out. You know, maybe once or twice in my life I cheated. You know, I'm not a cheater. But once or twice in my life I did do it, you know, when I was young and dumb. But generally when I was with somebody, I would just rock out with them for a while until I just couldn't deal with them no more. Then I go get a couple more. You know what I'm saying? But there was a time where, you know, I was with somebody for a little bit of time, feeling it, somebody else was feeling me. So I went off and did that. So to bring it back to the whole Madden thing, Madden is pretty much the girlfriend in this scenario because that's my base. You know, I'm more knowledgeable about football than anything else as far as sports. You know, I have a general knowledge of baseball and basketball, but I mean, I know the ins and outs of football. But she's just not giving me everything I want. So she's going to get cheated on. This year, I'm going full-blown MLB The Show. Now, of course, you're going to still see Madden content from me from time to time. I'm talking about right now. I mean, obviously, if Madden 19 comes out, kicks us off with a bang, then we right back in the house. You know, we right back in, and we, you know, it's great again. Now we got a good football game. But until that point, until CFM is really where I want it to be, and the gameplay is really out there, I'm going to invest my time as far as where my real experience will be with these other games. And it's starting with MLB The Show 18. Because like I said, man, Smitty, it has everything, every facet of the things that we would want to see in our football product. You're getting it. You're getting it right there with MLB The Show. I mean, now listen, I've already had a guy, actually, hold on. Before I go further with that, guys, give me a second. I want to read something to you guys, and I meant to have this available a little earlier. Let me find the video. I put out a video today, guys, about MLB The Show 17, you know, saying, giving it one last chance to show some beauty that's being displayed in the game. But let me show you something. I'm going to read a comment. And shout outs to this guy, because he comments to me all the time. I think he's commented to Smitty as well. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm going to pull up the comment. But it just goes to show you that simulation is really what you believe it to be, or the experiences that you're having. So here it is. His name is Bill Bixby, and a lot of you guys may have heard his name before. I'm sure Smitty has. He's commented before. This is what he said on this video. He says, the show has significant flaws that makes it unplayable for some. I don't field or run the bases. The less human influence, the better the animation and simulation. Okay. So I use auto base running, and it has been broken for 2 years now. And alpha testers, he says, alpha testers are saying that it's still broken. Madden has its flaws, but it doesn't have any significant fundamental gameplay flaws that make the game unplayable. Let me read that part to y'all one more time. He says, Madden has its flaws, but it doesn't have any significant fundamental gameplay flaws that makes it unplayable. So he says Ramon and SDS either can't fix it or they don't care. So then he says, this year I'll keep my money in my pocket and stick with Madden. Wow. Now, again, that's his opinion. I value it because he's come into my streams before, and he's a baseball guy because he's the one that's been telling me, man, the pitch counts and all that stuff is just not. And I digress. I fall back. I'm like, you might be right. I don't know. But to me, MLB The Show, in my opinion, is probably the best. I mean, to me, it's in my opinion, it is the best simulation game right now for the games that I play. I'm not including FIFA. I'm not including PES because I'm a novice there also. Even though I'm a little novice with baseball, I still know baseball enough to understand what I'm seeing is matching what I see on TV. So if we're looking at it from just that standpoint, I think it does a better job than Madden, obviously. And I think it actually does a better job than 2K. 2K is close. But I think that you hear Smitty and I always talk about the consistency factor. I think if we're talking about consistency versus the times you might see a flaw, I think MLB The Show on just pure gameplay got it. I mean, again, let me name you the things to me that makes it appear to be a simulation game to me. The way it replicates what I see when I cut on my television and watch baseball. The way it moves, the user control, the physics that is recognized in that game. The presentation overall, the commentary. I mean, all of these different things, the ball physics, the player interaction, which of course you can't compare interaction between baseball and basketball and football. I know, I'm just saying for its respective sport. That game to me is phenomenal when it comes to that stuff. And that's why I'm like, look, man, Madden's not all the way there yet. So I'm going to make sure I get good and dive into this MLB The Show game. So there's my alternative for whenever I feel like Madden is just not holding up its end of the bargain. So, thus, the title. Madden is the girlfriend that gets cheated on. Because most of us guys here, we're hardcore football guys. In this scenario, Madden would be the girlfriend. And we all about to cheat on her, in my opinion. So, what you got for us, Smitty? I thought I'd spice it up and just make it amusing a little bit tonight, man. Make us laugh a little bit.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm with you on that. And see, the thing is, like what I was looking in the chat there a little bit, what Kia said, that was the point I was actually going to bring up. I'm like, what you say in that regard about, people feeling disdain and things like that for the show, people say the same thing when it comes to PES and FIFA. Mm-hmm. You have the hardcore guys that are like, oh, this isn't soccer at all. Like, you'll see, like, we'll talk about FIFA and be like, yo, this is what's up right here. This is good. You'll have some hardcore soccer guy. Oh, they don't have this right, and that's not right, and this is bad, and that's bad, and this is all off. PES is where it's at because I don't know. And you'll have some people that say both of them are bad, but PES is the lesser of the two evils. So you know what I'm saying? And they'll give their reasons for it. Mm-hmm. But this is the point here. Now, like me and Sim have said it multiple times when we talk about MLB The Show, especially when we talk about playing these soccer games, we're the casual guys. Right. We're not the hardcore, we know everybody, everything, and OMG, I can't believe this is the way it is. This is wrong. We're not those guys with that. But the game, and I said this before, this game has the depth with modes, the depth with gameplay even, to get me involved. So if I wanted to actually start giving a care about baseball, this is the perfect tool to get me involved. Mm-hmm. Because all the tools, the depth and everything are all there. Now, Madden's the only football game on the market. Just like MLB The Show is the only baseball game on the market. But understand this. Understand. Now, I got to shout out my man, Corey. Corey, Sim, we know, EA guy and everything, former game changer and all that. If I wanted to know about soccer, the ins and outs, he could pull up FIFA, and PES, and he could break down career mode for me. The transfer rules and loaning players and all that stuff and everything that I don't understand. He could lay it out for me because everything is in the game. The modes are in the game. The functions are in the game. The gameplay. So the gameplay stuff is there, but the elements are there that matter to the sport are in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Same with MLB The Show. NBA 2K. On the court, if I were if I were to be casual and I was approaching it, hey, man, that game looks good. Dang, look at them animations. Dang, that look like so-and-so and such and such and such. So I may not know the entire NBA, but I know what my team looks like. Now let me see if I see the Pistons. If I'm a casual fan, and if I'm a casual fan of the game of basketball, but I love the Pistons, and I can go down the whole list from Drummond to Kennard and all those guys, and I'm like, dang, that is similar to how he moves. That is similar to how he plays. That's similar to how he shoots. That's similar to this. I have a nice on-court depth game. Now, if I wanted to be the guy that is all about franchise and all that stuff, I have once again, I have the on-the-court tools and modes so that I can learn. Excuse me. So I can learn what the game actually offers. And like what they did in NBA 2K this year, they put in there, what does it mean to hedge? Excuse me. They put the pluses and minuses as far as what each adjustment you make in the game, what it does for you. So if it's hedge, if it's ice, if I'm screening, if I got the personnel and I choose to adjust the overall scheme, like what kind of motion offense am I going to use, right? Based off of the personnel I put on the court, I can adjust it to what I want, and I got the pros and the cons. So it's laid out for me. You see what I'm saying? So when you hear the whole, the side, like what Sim said, the whole side chick matter of it, can't get mad at people at that. Because both NBA Live and Madden are in that exact same boat. Yeah, they got some gameplay elements, and yeah, it has its moments where it looks good, but it's not nearly enough there to sustain you. Whether you're casual or you're hardcore. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, yes, you have people that say, yo, Madden looks realistic, spot on. But at the same time, you also have a good number of people that say, they look at the TV and say, oh, Madden's a video game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They'll listen now. Look. If they're outside the room, they'll hear the commentary and be like, yo, who playing? Then they walk in the room and they're like, oh, you playing a video game. But when it's NBA 2K, live, you already know without question. You look at that, you know that's a video game on screen. But when you see, oh dang, I ain't going that far.
You playing double dribble? But yeah, I gotta pick with you. Y'all know I gotta pick fun. But what my EA had it. I like to troll them when I'm wearing their stuff.
But
double dribble.
But when you see these other games, like I've had multiple times, wife walk past, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, whatever. Who playing right now? When I'm playing NBA 2K, they think that it's a game on. When I'm playing PES or FIFA, I ain't know the soccer game's on right now. They think that it's a legitimate soccer match happening right now. Baseball, when I play the show, they thinking that the game is on. You know what I'm saying? And it's got the telecast views, so you really think that the game's going on. So that's my whole point, is that if I'm casual, all those games, you know what I'm saying? All those games give you that realism. So when you got somebody that's casual and they look at Madden and say, man, that look realistic. Man, look at how that is. when you bust out NBA 2K and they see that, when you bust out the show and all those games, yeah, that's why when you say this, chick, so to speak, is gonna get cheated on. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, how's that franchise mode looking? You know what I'm saying? Like,
she cooked better.
That's all. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's all you gotta
extra
say.
Season on that chicken.
Right. what that franchise look like? You know what I'm talking about? So it's like you see what's going on, and it makes people want to look elsewhere and play other games. I mean, and like I said, we gotta call spades a spade. I mean, I know I left this game out of the mix, but at the same time, we could throw the last NFL licensed game outside of EA was NFL 2K5, and that franchise mode is smoking Madden out of the water right now with their franchise mode. 2004 production, game that came out in July, before Madden, $20, still has a better franchise mode to this day. And I would say halftime, post-game, and weekly wrap-up to boot. So when you have all of that going on, yes, that's going to make people want to step outside and see what else is out there. While at the same time, yeah, I got, Madden's the mainstay. It ain't going nowhere. It's here. But the action outside, though, you know what I'm saying? Like Sim said, this one cooks better. This one cleans better. This one does this better. This one does that better.
She called me daddy.
That's the whole point. Is that the elements of the game? There's like I named off. I named off some presentation stuff. I named off presentation. I named off gameplay. I named off features. So like your tutorials and such, and mode depth. So like I said, if I wanted to get into soccer, can this game give me the immersion I need to want to be involved, to make me care? Yes, the show does it. The show does it. 2K does it. PES, FIFA do it. Heck, NHL, that game too. I forgot about that. NHL does it too. So that's that's the bottom line, man. All these other games are doing it, and Madden is behind that curve, and it's got to catch up. So that's a bad look. So that's why when you talk about the game getting pushed to the back because of other games, it's because of what it's lacking. And that's what it's lacking. It's lacking in the gameplay area. Like my man Antoine always says, gameplay first. We always about the gameplay number one, then franchise, 1A. So, hey, I can't blame Sim on that, man. Like I said, I'll be getting the show relatively soon, but I just been playing basketball games mainly. I haven't touched Madden. I haven't really touched Madden in like I don't know, probably like a few weeks since I touched it. I'd say about a week and a half. I did like a few MUT challenges, but see, that's it. I'm not really concerned about playing like franchises, and it doesn't grasp my attention like that. So that's why I play MUT when it's like I really don't care about doing anything else really in Madden like that. I'm not really captivated to want to play. So I guess let me just play this fantasy game, and I'll go ahead and I'll start playing MUT. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. But like I said, a game like MLB The Show, I don't even have to play Diamond Dynasty. You know what I'm saying? To want to get involved. I don't have to play my team in NBA 2K, but yet I can get fully immersed in it. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we need, man. We need that in Madden. And I mean, I know we've all made that point crystal clear, and we definitely let the dev team know that, but they got to deliver on that, man. So, well, I'll throw it back to you, Sim, man.
I'm loving the comments, man. That's why I like using these men analogies, man. Because it'd be funny, man, how everybody be going in. So I'm going to sum up these two because somebody asked, what would 2K8 be? So Backbreaker, guys, to me was like Buffeted Body. For you guys that remember Buffeted Body.
Okay.
All right. I never thought Buffeted Body was all that. Like, facial-wise, she's okay. But that body. Listen, I seen her in person. literally, you know, when people used to say, "Oh man, that booty coming around the corner," that's how she was. I was like, wow, that was backbreaking. Them graphics had us like, whoa, like we had never seen that. Or it was like Delicious on Flavor of Love. Y'all remember that? You was like, yo, that is a big butt, right? But then you kind of was like, she's like, yeah, that was backbreaking. Now 2K8 was that chick from the neighborhood that you ain't even realize she was bad. You ain't know. You know, you found out later, like, wait a minute. Wait now. Let me take a closer look. The more you hung out with her, you like, well, you know what? She alright. Could use a couple things. That was 2K8. It was a pretty solid game. It just was lacking in certain areas, and you was like, okay. You get bored with it pretty quick. But yeah, there you go. But yeah, man, Dad's like that Delicious one. But yeah, man, it's like yeah, it's a tough situation, man. It's that game MLB is just, it's like Smitty said, it's the game that I'm willing to learn baseball and able to learn baseball by playing that game. And it just has so much. It has the depth. It has the most. And that's why I say 2K8 is a close second. Now, some people would say it's better. I would say it's a close second because of the way we dive into 2K and the way we know some of the flaws we wish they could fix. Maybe I don't know all of that stuff about MLB. So from my perspective, I put MLB a little bit ahead of it. But 2K is right there. You know, 2K is right there too. But Madden just, hoops.
No, I'm saying my man said the college hoops.
Oh, college. Oh, I thought
college
he was talking about
2K.
hoops.
Yeah, he was talking. D-Mob was talking about hoops.
Oh, gotcha. I was about to say. I thought y'all was talking about But yeah. Well, let's bring it back to video games here before the wives overhear me and Smitty and get upset. It's just we're just doing video game references. You know, that's it. Them days is over. But let me see what else, man. Yeah, man, MLB is just it. It's the hotness for me right now, and it's keeping my attention. And like I said, 2K has the modes also, and Madden is just slowly becoming, later for that. You know, it's just I'm really hoping, guys, that we're gonna see some change with Madden 19. I'm really hoping that we will. I don't know. It's really gonna come down to CFM as well as the gameplay. You know, what things are we going to see leap with gameplay? But CFM really needs some attention. And I keep wiping my nose here, guys. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. I don't know if it's hanging up in there, so I might sneeze here in a moment. Just giving y'all a heads up. But yeah, that's about all I have on it, man. And that's why I just said, I just wanted to do something funny for a moment, man. Throw a funny topic out there and relate it to, like, the girl being cheated on. But that's how I do feel about Madden. It's like, that's the game that y'all know me from. That's what y'all mainly know Smitty from. We're game changers because of that. So Madden is our base. So we always treat that as the home hub. But we're venturing out, man. And MLB The Show, it has gotten me. I can't wait to dive into 18 and excuse me here, guys. I'm trying to make my draft pick here and see who we gonna get. But the next topic, Smitty, I guess we could cover. Do you feel like right now, man, that with all the controversies and things of that nature, with 2K and has it reached a crescendo, so to speak? Has it gone crazy now between the community and the video game companies? I mean, are we seeing something very, very crazy? And, is the community being a little more vocal, and is it helping to change things? How do you feel about that as general, man? Has it changed anything in your eyes as far as the consumer versus video game industry relationship?
To an extent, I would definitely say yes. I would say, yeah, it to a degree. Okay, it does. Social media is definitely a big time help because just and I mean just stepping outside the gaming part for a moment. I was looking at some clips earlier on this morning or the other day, and no, it was this morning, and I was looking at some clips from Hot Sauce, from and and I see him on Twitter, and I see all these other guys that are on Twitter, and they all got their own businesses, and they're doing their own entrepreneurial things. Pat the Rock, Professor, Bone Collector, all these guys. And I'm just thinking, look at what's going on with these guys now. I'm like, just think if we had the social media presence back then, how much more these guys may have been able to accomplish when they were younger and they were more vibrant and able to do more playing basketball. They still are playing, but I'm just saying, though, they're older now. So I'm just saying, though, like, that would be a big, that goes to show you the power of social media. I mean, heck, we saw what Kevin Hart did. You know what I'm saying? Like, he basically used social media in a major way to help elevate his brand. But we see what happened with Star Wars Battlefront. And I mean, that system, honestly, that system that they rolled out, I think the update came out now, but that update they rolled out, that should have been what they did in the first place. Like, it shouldn't have been, that's just my moment right there with just being upset with how they tried to over microtransaction the whole game and make the progression extremely unrealistically tough. But what the big time systematic update change they made was because of the way the people reacted and responded through the Reddit. Okay? Reddit made this huge noise on the game, all these people slamming the game, and then of course it moved over to the Facebooks, to the Facebooks and the Twitters and everything else, whatever other methods there are out there, Foursquares, whatever it is that's being used. So I can say that for that game, it made an impact. But now, as far as other games, though, we don't know necessarily yet because we have to wait and see, like, next year's release. I don't know what 2K necessarily did. I don't know what 2K necessarily did with getting their stuff in, getting like trying to help with the whole microtransactioning thing. I think that they may have left everything the same. I haven't seen anything, so I can't really say anything solid on that. But I mean, I don't know, and I mean, I don't know everything as far as MUT and Madden, like how people feel about that, how that should all be working. So I feel that yes, when people do talk, it does make an impact. It does make an impact, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I would say when it comes, hello, hold on, wait a minute, can you hear me, Sim?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, you can't? Okay, it just seemed like you cut out for a sec.
Yeah, I was. Right. I put it in the chat, so might as well say it now. Bear with us, guys. I'm trying to add Stack into the Skype. There he is. So I don't know how it's going to appear. Hopefully, it appears correctly. But you guys are going to, work with us. This is the guinea pig show, so this might just be how it goes when we add people. Well, I do see him here in the chat along with Smitty. So. Go ahead, Smitty. Continue. And Stack, don't forget to mute until we bring you on. Go ahead, Smith.
So, okay. All right. So now, is this joint muted or some noise going on there?
Unmute him.
I don't know if you can do it or not, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll just go ahead anyway. It's no big deal. But no. I think that it's gonna come to like the way that people are responding and how they're reacting to what's going on, it's going to come down to the release that happens. You know, like the games being released. So from people speaking, I think it'll be more of a reflection in terms of what happens in the fall. You know what I mean? Like toward the end of the summer when these games drop. I mean, I know we're about Madden, and you know we're about Madden. We're about 2K with the basketball, live with the basketball. So you know we'll see what we see at EA Play. What comes from there? But like you know, you guys should know how we always say it all comes down to how they finish the game at the end of the day. So we got to wait and see what happens with that. But you know, but that's basically where my takeaway is of it. As far as the people, like I said, I think people are definitely being heard. I know people like as far as Fortnite is concerned, from what I see on social media, because I don't have the game, I haven't even played the game yet, so I have no real input on that. But from what people say on social media about the game and about how the developers are very responsive as far as addressing things in the game, it seems to be pretty good. Like it's a very good response rate, you know, in terms of them making changes, adjustments, etc. Well, excuse me. So that being said, you know, hey, if with that being said, that would be cool to see. Like I said, I would love to see Madden getting to a point where they can actually do those kind of things, you know, and be able to update things a lot more frequently, a lot quicker, instead of seeing elements like they just did an update for the target passing mechanic earlier this week. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, it's March and they're doing a small little, you know, they're doing these updates for the game, but it's like, what about these things happening much earlier? You know what I mean? Because that's basically, I think that's what Fortnite was when they launched Fortnite. It was like it was a demo or something, not a demo, but it was more of an early access. Uh, it was kind of like an early access kind of game for a little bit, and then once it got more and more response, I mean not more response, but then like once you know you had your basically there it is, you had your early adopters playing the game slash so you could get your feedback, test the game, people are playing the game, all that good stuff. They could get the full game at a cheaper price and then get the full benefit of everything. So it's like, you know, it's like you're paying for a game that's in progress before launch. Kind of like Steam, playing on PC, playing Steam games. They'll be in early access. Some games will be in early access for like nearly a year. You know what I'm saying? Because they're steadily adding things to it, updating things, and then you could give that feedback, and they're able to just keep updating things progressively. So so social media definitely weighs in and helps make that impact because it makes it easier for guys to get to feedback that way instead of like the days of old where you basically had like just a general forum and that's all you had. So you got people that could directly tweet. You just direct people to where you want them to tweet to, and they could go ahead and hit you up. So I like that. You know, that's pretty cool. So we need more of that, though. That's the main thing we got to do. Just like how we're pressing hard, how we've been pressing hard for franchise mode. So, you know, our franchise mode to really get updated and get some true love shown to it in Madden. So we'll see what happens with that. As Rex said, it's owed to us. So you definitely want to see what he's done, especially based. I mean, there's been so much feedback over the years. So, you know, that's why I really am anxious to see what it is that these guys bring to the table, especially on that side of the fence with the franchise. But core gameplay first, but franchise, of course. So I'll throw it to you, Sam.
Yeah, they definitely got to do something, man. I mean, they just have to. And you know, real quick, guys, before I give my thoughts, just to give you the rundown, I'll give my quick thoughts on that, and then we'll bring 205 in. And apparently, guys, the way it's going to work here, I still don't have full control over muting and things like that because it's basically recording my desktop. So as long as I can hear Smitty and whoever else, even when I'm muting, Skype is not doing anything. So there you have it. So just keep in mind, guys, as we bring guys on, going forward, just make sure, if there's any noise or so in the background, if you're not, talking, just mute your mic. And when we ask you to come in, come on in. But, yeah, man, I mean, you started off with exactly what I was going to say with the whole, it's the social media, I think. And somebody actually said that on Twitter, man. I like to give credit. Let me see if I can find it. One of the guys that replied to us was saying the exact same thing pretty much. Let's see if I can find it, guys, and I'll read it to you if I can. If not, no biggie. But he was basically saying that really it's because of this social media climate. Because everyone has a voice. It's and the way he put it, he was like everybody has that mob mentality. So it appears as if we're louder than what we've been in the past. I think people have always had the same mentality and things of that nature. I think the only difference is now is that it is visible. It is visible because of the whole social media climate. I think I have, where's the comment here? I wanted to read it quick. Where is it? Yeah, it came from shout outs to him, Taylor Malone at T Malone Media. He follows us quite often, and I'll read to you exactly what he said. He says the biggest reason for most of this controversy is social media. Everyone has a voice now, and a lot of times the minority has the strongest and the loudest social media presence. The gaming industry is not any worse than it was 10 years ago. He says DLC isn't new, it's always been around. Companies are a little more aggressive with what they're trying to do in order to turn a profit beyond their initial purchase, though. He says he will admit that. But DLC has been around forever. Social media encourages the mob mentality, and that's where most of the controversy comes from. My exact sentiment. And that's why I wanted to read what he said. Those are my thoughts. I don't think it's been any different. It's the same thing with, this is a little off topic, but it's the same thing with brutality and all of that. It's always been there. Like I said, I seen it growing up. It was kind of a regular thing on the block. But now everybody got, you walking around with a video camera. We got one of these. Everybody has a camcorder in their pocket. So I don't think it's any louder, any more intense than it's always been. I just think, like, we've both stated, social media gives it more of a platform. And generally it is the minority, us primarily being the minority as far as the consumer, with having a voice or a presence. So, but I think it's actually good, man. I really do think it's a good thing. I think it encourages a lot. Again, one thing he said and one thing Smitty has reiterated as well here, and I'm picking another player here, guys. So you're going to see me looking to my left, probably your right. We are a very loud voice. Though we are a small community, we are a very loud voice. And I think, with guys, like ourselves, a lot of you guys, what we've done in order to, to try to help Madden and get Madden in the right place. I think we've done a fairly decent job. Somebody is listening, even if it isn't, everyone at the top doing what we want them to do. I think things are being put in motion, and all of that is definitely in part to social media. It wouldn't be no Sim Standard if it wasn't for social media. It wouldn't be Sim Standard presence down at EA. It wouldn't be no Game Changers, like us or what have you, if it wasn't for social media. That's how we were discovered. So, though it might seem like it's getting a little more intense, I definitely feel like that, the presence, it's worthy. It's worthy. We're loud enough. We're not extremely loud, but got to take something good with the bad there, I guess you would say. But yeah, that's just my quick thoughts on it, man. I don't think it's overly heightened. Now, however, I will say this part of it, Smitty, real quick. Don't want to leave this out. I appreciate the controversies. I appreciate all the stuff coming out. I appreciate the things that 2K, seems to be going crazy with their 2K league, because it allows everyone to see behind the curtain. Those things you can't hide. When things come out and things leak. I actually saw a video. I didn't watch the video, but You guys can tell me. I'll mention it here. I'm curious. I saw a video put out. I saw on Twitter. I saw Moody. Ryan Moody posted a video. I just saw the title. It said #2 gamer. He was in reference to Madden. He says #2 gamer overall or something like that. Exposed. Wonder what that's about. I just didn't have a chance to take a look at it, but maybe some of you guys saw it. So little things like that, to me, it's cool. It's cool to see what's really going on, and it seems like we're more intense, but I just think it's more visible. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts. So man, let's get to 205, man. If you can hear us, welcome to the show. Welcome to the new format. Hopefully this will continue to work well for us if it's working well, and we can move forward using Skype and OBS as the programs that's helping us bring the Sim Standard to you guys. But anyway, welcome to the show, man. Whatever you got for us, feel free, and we'll listen and respond. Hello, hello, hello. 205, you there? Breaker 19, breaker 19, breaker 19, testing, testing, breaker 19, breaker 19, come over. Come again. Roger that. Okay. I don't know. Maybe Twan, if you're in here, man, give me some CB talk. I can say to him since you're a truck driver. All I know is breaker 19, breaker 19. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
205.
Hello, hello.
We can hear you, but it's very low.
I hear him saying, yeah.
It's semi-muffled. Breaker 19, breaker 19. Got Smokey up the road. Got Smokey up the road. Breaker 19.
Smokey.
Yo, yo, yo.
Hello, 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 hello.
We can hear you. If you can hear us, say candy cane. How many of y'all know that? I just threw a movie reference out there. Let me see how many of y'all know what I'm talking about.
Hold on, let's see if he heard it.
Candy cane.
Oh, he hung up.
Candy cane. Y'all know I like my movies, man. You know what? Speaking of that, real quick, Smitty, just a sidebar as we wait for 205 to get back in here. I'm a little upset, man. Just a quick sidebar.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
All right, there you go.
All right, give me 1 second. Let me throw this quick sidebar. I'm a little upset, man, that Michael Smith and Jamil Hill is no longer doing the 6, man, because one thing I really liked about them outside of their chemistry is I'm a movie guy too, a movie and music guy. Y'all know I'm always using those references, so I used to love when they used to do that. So when I did it just now, it just made me think about that, man. It kind of sucks that we no longer have that dynamic, but anyway. Rusty Nail, what you know about that, Neff? But anyway, 205, we got you in here now, man. What you got for us?
Kind of weird how that was set up. It's almost like I have my phone, but it's cool. It's cool. I got the new game form, which I get every month, but it's kind of funny how this one's kind of going on like what y'all was talking about tonight. So if y'all don't mind, can I indulge y'all for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead. And you sound kind of far away though.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that any better?
I can hear you. I'm just checking with the chat. You can go ahead. I'm just checking with the chat to see if they can hear you.
Is that better?
A little bit.
All right.
How about you, Smitty, on your side? How's it sound on your side?
No, he sounds too far away. No, he sounds like he's far away.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's a little bit. Yeah, that's better. That's better.
A little better.
That's better.
All right. Sorry about that. But like I said, I got the new Game Informer, and they did the top 300 games of all time. And I found it really funny because Madden 04 for the PS2 and Xbox, game made in 2003, got ranked 97. All right. ESPN NFL 2K5 gets made in 2004, gets ranked 152 out of the top 300 games of all time. And I look at that and go, it's been over a decade and a half since we've had two legitimate games out in the marketplace that really come out and revolutionize what we call our sport of choice. And I find it really bad light on the football side because we have nothing to show for it. Yeah, we had NFL 2K8 come out, and yeah, it kicked up a little dust, but it really didn't do anything. Madden hasn't really done much since the PS2 days. They had the whole debacle on the Xbox 360 and PS3, and we still try to recover from that. And I almost feel like we got lied to in a way with the whole talking about the girlfriend and cheating on her and stuff. I feel like the community got cheated too because we was almost told we was going to get a game from Madden that was built back from it's going to be built from the ground up with this whole Infinity engine and everything, and then how that just fell apart. And to me, I just look at it like if you would have started in 2012 when all y'all was talking about y'all was going to do this, let Rex, Clint, and all those guys build the game from the ground up with their vision, 6 years down the line where we'd be right now, we'd actually have a really good game on our hands. But what's happened is we've had, even Rex has said this in his own podcast, Clint said this, the code is so messed up, they don't even know where to start on some of the stuff. It's ridiculous at some of the stuff, they don't even know where to start with the code. That's gotten so messed up since the PS3 and Xbox 360. I find that really crazy. And people probably say, well, the top 5 games is probably all graphical. Well, actually, Grand Theft Auto 5 is ranked number 4. Tetris is number 3. Super Mario Bros. 3 was number 2. And the all-time best game ever. And it's rated by, like, every gaming magazine and company that comes out and does podcasts gave Legend of Zelda A Link in the Past number 1. And those games are old as crap. Those games are, these games, y'all people talk about games being all the complete, graphical side. Actually, we grew up with these games. We was started, back on the Atari, NES, 64, and Super Nintendo, and all this stuff, Sega Genesis. We've had all these games to go through. And, even NCAA 11 got ranked 278. But sports games in general, FIFA 15 got ranked in it. But we're not really shown as a sports crowd to be ranked in these. Which I can understand people are going to say, well, you got to take in the RPGs and all that stuff. But still, it's sad because it's been over a decade and a half before we've had true revelation. And, true going back to the core of gameplay and franchise mode and things that would pretty much pull somebody that loves storylines into the game. Because we used to have those things, we don't have them anymore. And with the technology we have now with our phones, smartphones, and everything else, it's coming so fast. I'm just saying we should have that now. We should be able to take our phone, have a legit, app that links us back to our Xboxes and PlayStations, and we can be able to draft off our phone. We should be able to see everything we'll be able to see on the console side. And we can't say we can't do it because other games are doing it now. And it saddens me that we're still behind the 8 ball, and we've been behind the 8 ball for years. And I believe in Clinton Rex. I just believe that they're fighting an uphill battle. It's like they're pushing a boulder up the mountainside with snow, and they keep slipping because there's dudes in that room that don't want to see them succeed. They want to keep playing the game the way they've always played it, win money, and do whatever it takes to cheat the game. And I don't find it fair, and I find it really frustrating because it's not legit to me. And for people to sit there to tell me that Rex and Clint don't get to talk to the Mutt side until like a year and a half ago, that's sad. Because how long has the Mutt been around? Since what, 2008, 2007? So y'all don't know what they're doing? I mean, there's something definitely wrong inside of EA that's not got to do with Rex or Clint. It's got to do with the suits. And these people need to get off their ass and realize that we're not going to hang around forever. Because even the people inside the room, because even I feel the frustration in Smitty and Sim's voice that y'all are almost done. And I guess I'll end it there if there's nothing else.
Yeah, I'll respond to that really quick, man, and then throw it to Smitty. The thing about it, I mean, it's the harsh reality. It's something I say all the time. Is it almost goes back to what we were just saying about the crowd and the noise. We are a loud crowd, but we are a small crowd. And what I mean by that is, I think the misconception too is it's not like the competitive guys or whoever the case may be. It's not like these guys are dictating what's happening with this game. What's dictating what's happening in the game is really not them or us. What it is what we all know, and this is what we continue to talk about. It's like I feel like it's the Twilight Zone. We know the answer. It's the suits. We don't even have to guess anymore. And I say we because I'm always going to include myself, but I've been out of that category. But no one has to guess anymore because Rex has said it himself. He literally laid it out in the stream saying, listen, this is the battle I have. Sometimes I'm dealing with people that have no idea how important certain things are to football. That's telling you right there that even with that doesn't mean, even if what he's saying is true, then that goes to show that the competitive guys nor the sim guys really have much control over the shaping of what the final thing of the game is going to be. Those people are trying to sell stuff. Now, what could help them is obviously competitive Madden is going to sell products. That obviously, I mean, that's business one-on-one. If people see it on TV, it's obviously going to make some people feel like, "Ooh, I could do that. I could learn how to play. I'm going to buy this game that I watch on television." I get that angle, but it's still, you're dealing with people who just want to sell. They're worrying about the bottom line, and it's up to the developers to convince them what things need to be put in the game. Because again, what I don't want to do, and I try to stay away from it, I'm not going to go down the road where we still feel like that the competitive guys and sim guys are so far apart. Because in both worlds, you have some of the same people. You got people in the sim world that's completely lunatics. Like, the stuff they talk about, and as a sim guy, I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And then you got people in the competitive side that's completely off the deep end. Like I said, I've been in a room with guys that was, I want absolutes. I don't never want to drop a pass. I don't never want to. I'm like, bruh, what are you playing? Like, then, because that could go against him too. That's what I was trying to tell this guy. And I'm not going to say his name. And it's none of the big guys so it's none of those guys. None of the problems and, Skimbos, none of those do. But it's a guy that some of y'all might know out there. And I'm telling him, I'm saying, okay, if I'm trying to see it from your perspective, wouldn't that work against you? Like, what if I'm playing you and I'm able to do all that? Wouldn't you get pissed off? And then he kind of stopped and was like, yeah, I see your point. I was like, this is what I'm saying. Even if everything was perfect, it doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. You could run into another guy that blow you out of there because he's getting all the absolutes. So that's why I don't try to, I'm so far away from saying we're different. We're not that different. It's certain guys that do have a wacky way they want to play and they want to chuck it up and throw it. But you got a lot of guys in the competitive world that would play real football if real football was what they had to play with. And I think we've had enough guys even, comment on the show, a couple guys that we've talked to here in the chat that are competitive guys, like Black Phoenix is one of the dudes I remember. Obviously, Relly. These guys want a real football game as well, but they have to play the game the way the game is laid out in order for them to compete. For that side of it, I can't beef with them. Because the game is just not equipped to play a solid level of football at all costs. So when it comes to that and you're playing for money, of course you're going to do whatever's capable that can be done in the game. So I ain't talking about, I'm not talking about the lobby ball guys. We all know those crazy folks. I'm talking about these dudes who could really play some football, know football, and would probably still be successful if the game was a full sim. So a lot of those guys are just like us, but that's the problem, man. Is all we could do is hope that what Rex said that last time is that he thinks the tide is starting to change and he's seeing more people from the top kind of meet them. That's all I can hope for. Outside of that, it is what it is, man. Like I'm done. I'm so far done with like even being upset or even because it's like I know what it is. I know what it is. I'm gonna still give my feedback. It don't cost me a dime to do what we doing. So for those who wonder that, it don't cost us nothing. Why not? If I'm gonna play video games, why not have the connection and give feedback? Because we are getting things done. But I'm just past the whole being so pissed off and so upset. And I'm not saying you. I'm just saying in general, speaking from a general standpoint, because I know exactly what is going on. I know the battle that they're fighting, as well as us. And that's why I just have to wait and, see if the tide shifts the way that, Rex thinks it may be. So, there you go, man. What you got, Smitty?
Well, let me see here. I'm sorry. I just completely drew a blank. What was the last thing you had said?
No,
I just all of a sudden dropped.
Yeah, just reflecting back on what, how you feel about just the current state of what's happening with Madden, it's the story that we talk about all the time. Like we know what the deal is. We know what the fight is, and
yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, all right. Sorry, I went blank for a second about it. But no. Basically, I mean, I've said that. See, this goes back to the point that I've made originally when Sim and I first went down to the studio. It's one of the first things that Sean Grady had said to me, which Sim knows who that is. And he told me, he's straight.
Neil Patrick Harris. He look, boy, bro. He looks so. He
do look
they
like.
They could be in the same family. I would, if he told me, listen, that guy is actually my younger brother. I would not even question it. Looks very much like Neil Patrick Harris, by the way. So go ahead, Smitty.
Yeah. But no, man. He had told me about the penalties, and he's like, "Dude, we already know challenge system, all that stuff. We know we got to get that stuff right. We gonna get it. Just work with us. Give us some time. We're gonna get it. I'm telling you." When you say things like that, and the first trip I'll go down there, I'm thinking, okay, we could give these guys feedback. They can make these changes this cycle. Nope. That wasn't the reality of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, maybe they can make some tweaks to certain things, but the game was pretty much finalized. There wasn't much that could be done. Now, the following year, we go down there. This is when it really sets in. Sim and I, me, Sim, AZ, whenever we go down there or whatever, we always looking at the game. We're seeing what's on screen. And we're like, can y'all, if you guys could just tweak this, can y'all tweak that? Like this instance right here. Can y'all tweak that and make it happen with everybody? And it's like, nah, it's too intricate of a system to do that. Because if we do that, it's going to mess this up possibly. And if we do this, it's going to possibly mess that up. So what I realized was like, you know what? I got to put this in the frame of these other games. The only difference is that these other games are ahead of Madden. Mm-hmm. So because they're ahead of Madden, when you don't see, like, look at MLB The Show, just like the topic we just had, MLB The Show. Because that game's ahead of Madden, it's gonna get the perception of, oh man, look at all this work they did, but look at Madden, ain't do no work. And when that's not the clear case. Madden's doing the work, but it's just that their game is behind. And because their game is behind the 8-ball, that's why they're going to catch the heat, as if they're not doing as much as their fellow products, even under their own umbrella. See what I'm saying? but that's not what it is. So the main thing, like I was saying beforehand, to the main point, is that when I went to the studio those first times, even the first time, I was like, I just started to wrap my head around this and say, okay, this is a process. This is not going to move the way that we think it's going to move. And that's one of the things that I quickly started to realize, and I further understood going to the studio, interacting with the devs, things we see in the game, and be like, could you guys do this? Could you guys do that? And it's like a lot of times it's not as simple as, oh, yeah, we could do that. No. And it's not that they can't do it, but it's like what it would take for them to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not as easy as 1, 2, 3 for them to get the things done that we truly want. What is it? Oh, yes. So it's just gonna take work, man. And that's the hardest thing I said. I said the hardest thing to deal with in this community is that. Oh, my daughter's calling me. Yes, sweetie, come here. But the hardest thing to deal with in regards of this community is the fact of the matter that it is going to take no. This is old. The issue is that it's going to take time. Sweetie, I'll get you juice in a minute. So because of that, as you can see, like my daughter she's not extremely patient. That's the issue that's going on in regards to the community. They're not going to want to wait. It's like, dude, the game's been made for how many years, and how come they don't have it done right yet? You see what I'm saying? So that's all part of that process. Even though it's frustrating, but it's part of the process. So yeah. Okay, so that in a nutshell is what it is, but it's unfortunate, but that's what we unfortunately got to work with right now. So we gotta wait until they get it done. And once they do, or once they're in a much better spot, then we'll see them, progressively make the updates, and they'll be more online with games like MLB The Show and such. So, and see, this is what I'm saying. And VSoul, the bottom line is that if you paid attention, you may be new to this, but we don't give passes. That's not passes. That's facts. You see what I'm saying? That's facts. Cancer is a disease. That's a fact. That's not an opinion. That's a terminal illness. That's a disease, right? It's the same kind of deal with this. It's facts.
This is the question now, I got, though. No, go ahead, Smitty. Finish that point.
Oh, no. I was just going to say real quick, it's up to you. Are you going to buy the game? Now, if you buy the game, you gave them the pass.
That's all.
If you bought the game and it doesn't have what you want in it yet, you gave them the pass. That's giving the pass. So don't buy the game and they be like, oh, but y'all gave them a pass. And no one gave them a pass. I'm telling you the facts. That's why when people get pissed off and angry and all that stuff from EA Play and all that, this is why I've said that same point. Even though when I was at EA Play, EA Play, all of us was like, yo, man, we love the way the game's playing, blah, 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 whoop, whoop. What's the same exact freaking thing that I've said every year? I say it as soon as the season ends. On top of that, rent the game, borrow it from people, red box the game, GameStop rental it. Make sure that you actually want it before going ahead and finalizing the purchase and keeping that thing in your house. If it's not for you, don't bother with it. That's the main thing. So we've said it for years here. I'm the main person that emphasizes it. So if you're not, I've been saying this since Sim Standard Channel. If you're not with it, don't make the purchase and then double back around and say like, oh man, but y'all said no. I'm like, but also pay attention to what I'm saying to you right now. You got to make sure that at the end of the day, you're okay with it. See, I was okay with Madden 18 the way it was. I was okay with Madden 18 the way it was because they made a port over to an engine. I knew it was going to have all kinds. I knew it was going to have bugs and issues and stuff. That's a given. That's a given. I have not seen a game yet make a transition to an engine and it just had no issues. None. Very minimal problems. I have yet to see that, especially for a yearly made sports title. So it doesn't shock me to see what happened with all the things that went on with Madden. Does that give him a pass? No, those are facts. That's just reality. That's just a historical reality with the game. So at the end of the day, if it's not for you, that's why I say be mindful of what's going on with the game, man. If you see all these bugs, and plus I streamed it, Sim streamed it. We've streamed the game, so it's like when we're playing the game, are we seeing 8 million bugs happen all the time? No, but do the bugs happen at times? Yes, and we call them out right there on site. So I'll throw it to you, man.
It's the funny thing is, man, and I see that V Soul said this was the first one he didn't buy. That's a good start. At the end of the day, like I see people say all the time, "Oh, how long should we wait?" I can't answer that question for you. I don't advise anybody to wait. It's funny because it's funny how this show goes full circle, and how earlier in the show we were talking about why Madden's girlfriend is about to get cheated on, and why I'm going to invest so much time into ML. I'm giving you the blueprint. And if that ain't enough, again, there's a little mini video saying the same thing that I dropped tonight at midnight, explaining to you why I'm going to put some time in that game. If Madden is not giving you what you need, it's other games out here. And I've realized that MLB The Show is probably going to give me the experience that I'm looking for from top to bottom. Gameplay, modes, presentation. It's going to be it. In the long, like I said, you can add 2K in the mix. And then what I don't understand either is the past question is always laughable to me, because when people have even said that, even way more harsh than how it was said tonight, my answer has always been how. What could I be doing to give it a pass? Like what am I doing that's giving them a pass? I'm not promoting the game. I'm not telling anybody to buy it. I'm not telling anybody, oh, just suck it up. All we do is state what we know. It's a funny thing. And shout outs to my, and I don't know him personally, but I just call him my guy, Charlemagne the God. Now I don't always agree with everything Charlemagne says. You know, he gets a little crazy sometimes, but for the most part, I'm right there with him because he makes a lot of good points. Very intelligent brother. Even though he has his persona, that's a very smart guy. Reads a lot. We've read a lot of the same books. Like I know the science. I know what he's doing, but we'll say that for another day. But there's a quote he always says: "Nobody cares about the truth when the lie is more entertaining." That's a dope line, because that is absolutely the facts. Nobody cares about what's really going on. They speculation and what they think about. Just think about every situation, not just Madden. We're just saying in general. That statement applies to that. I wholeheartedly agree. Because all Smitty and I do is just give our thoughts on what we think, but then we always give y'all the solid truth about what's happening with Madden. But somehow, it's perceived by some as, oh, you guys are just... I'm still waiting for the benefit. I mean, there's multiple videos that Smitty and I both make talking bad about the game. I got a whole series called Make Me Believe It. So it's just always is entertaining to me when I see that. Like, I don't even respond to that stuff on Twitter, but I'll always reply here in the live format. I just don't get it. And like I said, it's nobody cares about the truth when the lie is more entertaining, man. That's real talk. And but bottom line, listen. I said it before, and I'll say it again here before we wrap up here. If Madden is not where I want it to be in 19, y'all are going to see a very big decrease in the amount of attention I give it. Will I still play it? Obviously, yes. It's no secret now. Everybody knows Smitty and I don't pay for Madden. We're game changers. There's a lot of EA things that we're able to get. That's a little perk. But let me be honest with you. That don't really mean much. I can buy my own games. That's not the reason why I'm a game changer. Oh, I get free games. Who cares about that? That ain't even it. But I say that to say this. Yeah, of course we're gonna play it because we got to give feedback. That's what we do. We give feedback. That is all we do. That is our whole existence of YouTube for Madden and EA Game Changer. That's what we do. But I can promise y'all, if CFM hasn't gotten any real significant changes and gameplay is not jumping off, like really smacking us in the face, I'm going to just basically do feedback and that's it. You won't see no franchise series, none of that. Because I'm not wasting my time. I'll be over there at MLB The Show. I'll be with my new girl. I leave my old girl at home. Yeah, I'm later for you. So that's and I can promise y'all that. Now, what I would love to happen, come August, whoa, like gameplay smacking, CFM has gotten some attention. Now we all know it ain't gonna get that whole Deuce Douglas post ain't gonna be there. Everybody knows that. But I'm just saying, I've done a top 5 video. Smitty concurs with a lot of those things, if not all. I know at least Smitty and I and plenty of other people, most of us got the same top 3. Let's say those things are put in CFM. No, we off back to a good start now. Like I said before, if Madden 19 can get back on the cycle of 15 to 16, 16 to 17, then we okay. Because those games were... And let's not act like nothing has been done. I wanted to say that really quick too, and we got to get ready to get out of here because I got to get ready for tomorrow. But as the list shrinks, we kind of forget things that have been done since we've started this process, and that's natural. But let's not act like since Madden 15 there hasn't been positive things happening. Now, perfect example. Who would have thought we would have got those play styles in the game, right? Do they work the way we want them to? No. It doesn't seem like it's where we would want it to be. But maybe next year, maybe the year after that, maybe now the play styles are really, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe we're not denying that stuff doesn't work. We're just saying we can't act like there hasn't been any attempts to improve. 18 kind of set us back a little bit because we know why. And we was trying to say that beforehand. We was like, hey, be very, very pessimistic, guys. Don't be overly excited because we're going into a new engine. We was trying to give you that info when we really wasn't supposed to, but we were trying to at least set something.
I wouldn't try.
Yeah, we were trying to tell you,
info.
Especially
we told you
once it came out in June. We was like, all right, remember what I told y'all. That's why I did that interview. That interview was for y'all. I asked those direct questions because I knew Rex would answer them the way I needed him to answer them for y'all. Not me. I already know. So that's what I'm looking to see for Madden 19. I need to see that chunk of a change again. That's what I'm sorry. I can't go another year with CFM looking the way it does. I need some changes in there. And if it ain't none in there, I'm not even dealing with that. I'll be on MLB having myself a good time. Plain and simple. So that's it. That's all I got for you guys tonight, man. Looks like our new format is working, so hopefully we can keep this thing going the way it is. And any of you guys that are good with backgrounds, hey, you want to hook us up with some type of background like you see here, a logo or something. Hey, feel free. We would love that. And I've come to find out the more and more I stream and stuff that people like to do things like that for you. And one guy told me, hey, you never asked. I didn't know. Sure. If y'all want to contribute something like that, we'd be more than happy to take it and give you all the credit for it. So there you have it. But before we roll out, Smitty, what you got, man? You got any final remarks? And appreciate it, V-Soul, for the... Hold on. Let's see if it works, guys. Let's see. Can y'all hear that? Round of applause. Appreciate that, V-Soul.
They may hear it, but
appreciate that, man. Donation.
I don't hear it, so.
Always welcome, guys. Always welcome, and we definitely thank you for that. And by the way, Twan, if you still there, Smitty will be getting his care package here at the end of this month for what you did for us last month. So just want to give you the update on that. But yeah, what you got, Smitty?
All right. Now the main thing that I got. Oh, let me see here. Oh, okay. All right. I was just listening to the recording. So, when you do the sound effects and all that, they will work. They do work. We just won't hear it on the Skype, but they work.
Yeah, I can hear it on
So
my
just let you
end,
know.
cause
Okay. Oh, you can hear it too.
well, yeah,
Okay. All right.
we'll talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the
Okay.
next time
I
I
just
could
was
call you
listening
because
to it.
I forgot you got a deck
Okay.
too. So we'll figure out because the way
Yeah.
I'm doing it. Well, just really quick, the way I'm doing it now is I had to add it as I added just one of those audio sources instead of adding the actual source through OBS. So I just added the clip through one of the other things. I'll show you. We'll talk about
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll talk.
it.
Okay. But now just real quick, like always, I appreciate all of you guys. V Soul, definitely appreciate the donation. It's all like I said, we do our best to inform you guys and keep you guys abreast of what's going on with the game as best as possible, especially with curbing the expectations, making sure that you guys keep a realistic perspective as far as engaging this game. Like I said, Sim, I don't know if he'll be at EA Play this year. He might be. I don't know. We'll see. I'll definitely be there, to see what's happening. So I'm gonna definitely do a little live stream kind of deal while I'm there, talking and breaking bread with you guys. So we're gonna do it. But I just want to make sure that y'all understand we gotta have realistic expectations with this game. I'm looking for some things to happen with franchise. I need to see that needle move, man. I really do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Moonlit Swami. Shout out to my man getting his
Oh yeah.
position, getting hired in
Yeah.
at EA. You know what I'm saying? Very analytical guy all over the place with football though. And I mean that in a good way. In a good way. Like this guy's all in. So he definitely is a good addition to the squad over there. So huge shout out to him. I just thought about that, and shout out to all of you guys coming through, hanging out with us tonight. And I look forward to hanging out with y'all next week.
Absolutely, man. And I'm going, since y'all said it worked, we're going to ring it off one more time. A round of applause to Moonlight Swami. Well deserved, man. And listen, it's like I told him on Twitter. Another guy that I know that is about the game, the passion for the game that's going to be on the dev team. So, and I can't wait to see how things change for him, like a year from now. To see, cause I'm telling you, man, when you behind the curtain, it's different. And now he is the curtain. He ain't just behind it. He's in that mix. So he'll even know even more in depth than us, and it's gonna be cool because again, this is a guy that came into the program and we know him from that level. So now as a dev, we can really ask him more and more questions of the stuff that I know he would have asked beforehand. So good stuff there, man. So yeah, hopefully things will change, but we'll have to wait and see, man. We'll have to wait and see. So that's going to do it for tonight, guys. I got to run and get out of here, get ready for tomorrow. So for you guys who are asking about MLB The Show, plan to stream it sometime tomorrow night. I have to run to New York Saturday, so I don't know exactly what time we're getting up. So if we're not getting up super early, I'll probably be up semi-late tomorrow, get a quick stream in. I'm not going to start my franchise until those OSFM rosters are completed. But I'll just probably do exhibition games for the meantime. So, all right, that's going to do it, man. Y'all take it easy. And we is about to be up out of here. All right? Catch y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.